certain things in your pantry, you can go ahead and fix them up and save them for long-term storage. Something that'll last you for a long time, 2 to 3 years down the road. You can have cornbread. Today is the official start date of the SNAP benefits, the food stamp program, and all that stuff is completely shut off because of government funding. All right, there's millions of people around the country right now that just really depend on that type of service. You know, in other words, they're going to go hungry. You know, 3 or 4 weeks from now, people are going to be starved to death. You know. And they're going to be doing crazy and stupid things. As far as on the news, they're talking about looting, stealing, flash mobs, going into grocery stores, Walmarts, and just stealing everything they can get and just running. You know, that's what it's going to come to if they don't figure this out, because there's people actively calling for that stuff on the internet and on TV right now. And that's coming soon to a town near you. Okay, say like if you're in Walmart, Ingles, anything like that, and you're putting your groceries into the car, 3 weeks from now, people's going to be hungry. You better watch yourself. You better watch your car. Don't leave your car unattended. Once you put your stuff in there, make sure you lock it. You know, if you return the buggy, don't leave your car running, because somebody could come up behind you and take what you have and actually take you out too in the process. It's going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy. As long as the shutdown continues and this food stamp shortage is going to get out of hand. It's going to get out of hand. You can read it, the writing on the wall. Hopefully something that we say or do can help somebody out. What we talk about is prepping, long-term food storage and stuff like that. Some of the stuff we do will benefit a lot of people. We like to can our own stuff. We like to preserve our stuff, and we like to get, shelf life of years out of our stuff just for situations just like this right here.
Today we're going to use our wondermill, and we're going to grind some popcorn. We use popcorn because it lasts a lot longer in popcorn form than what it does in the actual powder form.
This is we make our own cornmeal. You can use dent corn, field corn, whatever you want to call it. You can go to the feed store and buy a 50-pound bag of corn. You can use that, you can grind it, and you can make food out of it, because we showed it in videos and we actually do it. We don't just preach it, we actually do it. All right, this right here is popcorn that come from Rural King. You can buy it in like the 1-gallon jugs. We buy it and just pour it in here, and then that's how we keep it. We don't grind it all, because as you know, like cornmeal could go rancid, could get weevils or anything like that in it. But as long as you keep it like this right here, it'll last indefinitely, as long as you keep it stored properly. All right, so what we do is we grind it, and then we make our cornbread out of it. But the cornbread is the trick. For people out there that don't have a grinder or anything like that, say like if you just run to the store and you buy a few boxes, this right here, it's 50 cents a box right now at Walmart. Go up there and buy you 3 or 4 boxes of this, and I'll show you how to keep it for 3 years once you even cook it in the cornbread. Because, okay, right here's one we done. This is how we do it. You can cook them in the jars. And this is February 6th of 2023. That's a little over 2.5 years ago, right there. Still sealed, still edible. And as a matter of fact, we just ate one of them just a little while ago. And this is the last one we have, so we're going to make more. We're going to can more and show you how we do it. That's the whole purpose of this video, is because we need to make more, and we're making dinner, and I want cornbread with my dinner. So we're going to show you guys how to can it and make it shelf stable for 2, 3, 4 years. As long as it's stored properly in your pantry, this right here would be good. Well, as you can see, 2.5 years now. This is cooked cornbread, right out of the oven, canned, put in the pantry. That's how we do it.
You can also do brownies, you can do muffins, you can do several different things, cake mixes, and can them this way as well.
You can either make your own cornmeal. This is right here, just yellow popcorn is all it is. You can get white popcorn and yellow popcorn. This is the yellow. Or you can buy these right here. This is like the sweet cornbread mix. You can get these things at Walmart right now. This right here is 50 cents. So we get a few of them and we put them back. And if they start, the expiration date on the box starts getting close, we'll can them in the jars. That's the whole thing that we're trying to share with everybody. Like she was saying, you can also do pastries. Like, what was you saying?
Cakes, brownies, muffins.
We have had some that was over 2 years old, and they're still perfectly fine. What we're going to do is we're going to break out her wondermill. Her wondermill. We're going to break that out. And we're going to grind some cornmeal, all right? And then once we grind some cornmeal, you make the cornbread just like you would normally make, just like right here on the directions on the back of this. You do it the exact same way. All right, you pour it in your pan or you pour it in your jars. So anyway, we'll get started. And we'll show you guys how to do that and the wondermill part of it, and which is actually a pretty cool little thing. If anybody hadn't really looked into wondermills, you need to look into them, because the times they are coming and to where you're going to have to be able to prepare your own stuff. That wondermill is actually well worth its money in gold. I want to say it's probably like a couple $100, but it's well worth the money. It really is. You can get cheaper ones, of course, and honestly, just to have it on the side, I would get a hand crank one, because you never know, if the power's going to go down. The way it's looking in the world today, the news and everything like that, and all the wars that's being talked about, wars and rumors of wars, it's coming, and the first thing they're going to do, guess what? They're going to shut your power off. Alrighty, guys, it has been a while since we've done anything with this wondermill on camera on our channel and stuff like that. So I want to take a minute to kind of briefly go over it again, how it works, because a lot of people still don't have no idea about stuff like this, because it was kind of dumbfounding for me to know that stuff like this even existed. Alright, the way this works is all it is a grinder, and right here is the hopper. You pour like the corn in here. Alright, then you go, here's the bucket right here. Just twist this little cap on here, and it catches like the fine dust that you don't want in your food or whatever. Okay, right there. That's on there. So you just stick that on there, right over the vent. So it comes with this little things right here, so you can tell that we've used it. All right, put it on there, and then put it right on the bowl. This bowl right here, you can actually put this lid on this bowl and save your cornmeal or whatever. Once you grind it, you can put the lid on it and save it till you use it, of course. But we never do that. We just make enough just to use, because we don't want to store it. We want to keep it in a whole form for use, for daily use anyway. And basically the way this thing works, you just put it right in here. There's a little hole right here. Just put it right in there, just like that. Just stick it right in there. And once it grinds it, you put it in here. And there's 3 settings on this other side right here. Let me spin it around. Okay, if you see right here, there's 3 settings. There's coarse, bread, and pastry, which is fine and finer. It's like pastry is like really fine stuff. So I'm gonna put it like between coarse and bread, because I want cornmeal to be kind of coarse. All right, and this is the off and on switch is all it is. But I will tell you, these things right here, they've got some torque to them. Watch. It'll jump plumb around when you turn it on. And let it cool down here a minute. But it's recommended not to pour stuff in here before you start it, like corn or anything like that, wheat or anything. Don't pour nothing in here till you start it, and then pour it as it's running. I don't know. A lot of people do that. They put it in there before they turn it on. But according to the directions, it's not that good for them. The grinding wheels and stuff like that, it's just kind of might bind them up. And it will take an act of Congress to take this thing apart to figure out what's going on with it. She's going to come over and she's going to grind her corn with it and show you basically what it looks like once she grinds it.
And that made quite a bit. And if you see how fine it is.
As you can see, that 4 cups of popcorn right here, this little cup right here, the 4 cups of that, it made quite a bit of cornmeal. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to go ahead and just mix it all up. Because, like I said, we're going to put some in a pan for tonight. And then we're going to put the rest of it in jars, put it on the shelf for later, just in case, you never know. What we're going to do is we're going to make it just like you normally would. We don't have any milk, but you can use milk. We use milk on, actually, I'm not sure if we used it on that one when we canned it or what, but it was 2.5 years ago, so I can't remember. But we got bottled water. I'm going to pour it in there. There's really no recipe to it. You just mix it the way you want to mix it. I'm going to put 3 eggs in it. Okay, let me pull the trash can over. These come out of our chicken house today, actually. And a little secret about eggs that most people probably know already, but once you pull them out of the barn, the chicken house, the nest, whatever, the eggs, don't wash them. Our eggs are not washed. You know what I mean? So we just kind of wipe them off a little bit like that to make sure nothing's going to fall in our food, but they're not washed. As long as you don't wash them, you can put them on the shelf. They're good for 2, 3, 4 months. Maybe even longer. I don't know. But I know we've had them on for a couple months, and they eat just fine. But we also dehydrate them. We pickle them. Everything. We do everything with eggs because we get a ton of eggs. I think we got, 15 dozen already this week? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put 3 in here. Okay, there's that. And just stir it up. It's going to make a lot. That's the reason I put 3 eggs in it. So, let's open up my water here. This is bottled water. You can drink the water, our rainwater. We do use rain catch, you know, as our water source. You can drink that. We pour it through our Berkey, our homemade Berkey. There's a video of that on here too. If anyone wants to go check it out, how we made our own Berkey water filter. If we're going to drink the rainwater out of the faucet, we put it in the Berkey, then we use it and drink it. But we also, from time to time, if we're at the store or something like that, we'll grab one of the little $4 slats of waters, you know, just in case. So. There's no certain way to make this stuff right here. You can make it any way that you like it. You can make it as thick, runny, or whatever as you want. There's no certain way that you have to do anything, really. But I will tell you, popcorn, if you use popcorn, the yellow popcorn, that's some of the best cornbread you'll ever eat. And you, like I was saying before, you can use dent corn, field corn, which feed corn from any store, like Tractor Supply, Rural King, anything like it sells whole corn for chickens, deer corn. You can use deer corn. Corn is like scaled. It's like graded. So like the best corn possible goes for like, you know, the best looking corn goes for like cornmeal, stuff like that inside of like a factory that makes cornmeal or whatever. And the rest, at the lower the scale goes into chicken feed, and it goes to deer feed. I think deer corn is the lowest scale corn that you can buy. It's like probably dirty, but you can take that stuff and you can actually wash it, set it out in the sun and let it dry, and then use it the exact same way. We've actually done that. But I am going to put just a little bit of salt in it. Not a lot, just a little bit. Okay. And stir it up again. Alrighty, here we go. Here's the cornmeal right here. Good yellow cornmeal. That's what I love, yellow cornbread. I absolutely love it.
Okay, guys, you pretty much do the same thing that you do any other time you make cornbread. And this is what we're gonna be eating for dinner, so I'm gonna put some in it, and then we'll do our jars. This is what it looks like in the pan, guys. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put this in the oven to cook, and then when it gets almost done, I'm gonna pull it out. I'm gonna put butter on the top of it and put it back in for another 3 to 4 minutes. But I'm gonna go ahead and start my preheating of my oven, and then I'm going to come back and show you how we do our jars.
One thing I want to go over with the jars before she fills them. All right, these are jelly jars. That's all these are. That's how we use them, because basically you make like one muffin, maybe 2 muffins in it. The way you make them, you can cut it up for a couple people or just one person, or how you want to do it. It's perfectly fine. You can use bigger jars. You can use quart jars if you want. But just remember, don't fill them over. I wouldn't go 2/3 of the way, because this one right here is filled. When we done these, we just started, you know, it's 2.5 years ago. We just started learning this stuff at that time as far as, you know, canning cornbread. And we filled it halfway and it rose plumb up to the top. I had to actually squish it down to put the lid on it. So that's how much it raised in the jar. So with that being said, the next thing is make sure that you get the jars that aren't tapered at the top, or the bread will not come out. See, here's the one that's got our oxygen absorbers in it. If you notice, it's a quart jar that's tapered at the top, shrink in right there, you'll never get that cornbread out here unless you're reaching there and just tired all the pieces getting it out, because it's got to come here, right here. So that's what I'm getting at. Make sure that you get the ones that are not tapered, like these right here. These are not tapered. And you bet when you spray them and let them sit for a little while, you can actually just knock the cornbread out just like that right there, and it'll fall right out, just like a biscuit falling out of it.
Okay, guys, I did take my jars earlier and put them on the oven pan and put them in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15-20 minutes earlier, just to sterilize them. So now what I'm going to do is I am going to take the jars and spray them a little bit with cooking spray. Then I'm going to get a towel and I'm going to wipe my rings off. And sometimes when you cook them, sometimes the jars do take a little longer to cook than what's in your pan. One more thing, you do have to set your jars on a pan. You can't just set them in the rack and on the rack in the oven. So we are going to put these in the oven now that our timer stopped. And there you go.
A few moments later.
The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the cornbread out. Right there it is. It's almost completely done, but what we do, take that out, and what I want to do is cover the top in butter. Alright, there's that. One thing I'm going to do right now is I'm going to set this back in the oven and just let that melt good, and then it'll be done. So I'm going to go ahead and grab the jars out. Okay, here we go. Okay. That looks good. It's hot too. Good and hot. What we want to do real fast while these things are good and hot, spread them out a little bit. And they are hot. They just come out of the oven. Let me put one of these back on. Grab each one of them and do this right here. Make sure you clean the rims of it real good. They all feel pretty clean. You want to get these lids on here while this is good and hot. And the heat off these things will cause it to seal, just like you water bathed it or something like that. So, leave this glove on. Get right over there. Finger tight, just like normal, like you can anything else. Okay. Just trying to hurry and get it on there while they're good and hot. These lids get hot really fast, so you gotta kind of be quick with them. Two more. What I'll do with these things right here is set them back in the oven. I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Okay, the oven's off now. So I'm going to set these back in there until the oven cools down. And then that way the lids get real hot too. You don't really have to, it's just kind of the way I do it. Or we do it, I'm sorry. Ooh, that's hot. Okay.
A few moments later.
All right. Right here are the jars. You can hear them sizzling. Very hot. So what we're going to do is set them out of the way. Let them cool down. And they will seal, the lids will seal down and everything on them. So, okay, and here's our cornbread for dinner. So you got the butter running all over it. Look how good that looks. Got the butter running all over it. That'll soak in here in a minute when I cut it. Man, that smells good. Right there. This need to cut up more. You get the gist of it. I probably could have just flipped it upside down and knocked the whole thing out. Alright. And right there's the cornbread that's made out of popcorn, yellow popcorn. Alright, cut up a couple pieces of it. There it is, man, that smells good. Right there it is. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is exactly how we can and store cornbread, cooked cornbread. That's how we make it. Okay, the next step would be just simply to make sure the lid's good and tight as it's sealed, just like I said it would. Alright, then you put a label on it, put the date on it. Once you get the date on it, put it in your pantry. Just make sure it's stored out in the sunlight, you know, not a real humid environment, I guess. Even if you don't eat cornbread every day, this is a good way to cook it and, you know, store it. That way you have it for later, have it for a month, 2 months, 6 months, a year down the road. You can also do canned biscuits this way too. I would recommend doing the flaky style biscuits that way, because when you put them in here and you cook it, they'll swell up and it'll be one gigantic biscuit. But with the flaky ones, they're designed to be tore apart, so that way you can tear off whatever you want off because they come out in one piece and you just tear off whatever section you want. So that's the only thing I would recommend about that. All right, guys, one more thing. We will leave links to this wondermill that we have. We'll leave links to that thing down in the description if anybody wants to check it out. You know, and they're pretty good to have, but to be honest, they are a little bit on the expensive side. I want to say that's $200 or $300, something like that. I can't really remember because I've had it, you know, for a long time now. And between that and the V-bore chamber vac over there, those two things really, when it comes to food preservation and storage and pantries and stuff like that, those things are game changers when it comes to stuff like that. So anyway, this is how we store our corn. We done popcorn this time. We'll keep little containers like this. She's got a few of these containers that we keep different things in. Alrighty guys, that's going to do it for this video. We just wanted to share with people how we store our cornbread, how we can it, and how we keep it in a pantry for up to 2 to 3 years at a time. Like I said, that as I showed 3 or 4 times, that one's been in there for almost 3 years. Well, 2.5 years now. So that's a pretty good while for cornbread, and it's still just as good as the day we put it in there. So, you know, a little bit, heat it up a little bit, put your little butter on it, just like you just made it. And hopefully it'll help somebody out there. You know, with the shortages coming now, with the government being shut down, the food stamps, Social Security, everybody depends on stuff like this to basically just eat. So that's kind of why we become preppers. Anyway, guys, if you ain't done so yet, please hit that like and subscribe. And I hope this maybe helps somebody out there. We'll catch you on the next one.
Like and subscribe. I'm a video. Bye.